Going to start because I understand we're going to lose the room at 4. I'm hoping that Joanna will get here before this press conference ends. She was very, very instrumental in helping us to get this bill passed. And of course, I do want to recognize her contribution to it. Again, I thank all of you for being here. And of course, today at 5 p.m., Governor Strickland is going to actually sign House Bill 10 into law. It will go into effect 90 days after the governor signs the bill. It is, in a way, a good day, but it is a sad day, because the reason for having to have introduced this legislation was because of the tragic death of a 17-year-old in my district at the hand of a boyfriend who could not take no for an answer. Once I started to research for this bill, I found there were others who had suffered the same fate as Shanera Grant. And we have Shanera's mom and stepfather here with us today. We have Mr. and Mrs. Dill, who lost a daughter and came forward once I had introduced the bill. And there are some others that I will introduce to you later, and I will invite them to come to the podium if they would choose to do so and speak to you personally. I'm going to give you a little bit more background on it. As I said, the bill will create a new provision in Ohio statute allowing juveniles to file for a protective order in juvenile court. Currently, protective orders are only available in adult courts, while juvenile courts can and sometimes do provide no contact orders. That is basically useless. No contact orders would allow perpetrators to be as close to the person as I am to you, as long as they do not touch or speak directly to them. But they can harass, text, email, send messages, do all sorts of harmful things. So that is one of the reasons why we found the need to actually try to get something on the books where juveniles would be able to get a protection order. Now, I do want to point out some things that we added into the bill. Of course, you know, we started down this road 5 years ago, introduced the bill 3 times. The second time we thought we had it, we got it passed out of the House 96-0. It went to the Senate, passed out of the Senate committee, got to the Senate floor on the last day of session, and we ran into a snag. And so we did not get it passed during that session. But fortunately this time, and I have to admit, all of the deaths that occurred were most unfortunate. But ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, the day that Joanna came into the House and testified before that committee last year, the bill was not moving. It was stalled. As you know, as with most legislation prior to this session, us Democrats didn't have much of a prayer when it came to getting bills passed. And that was true with this bill. But when Joanna came in described what she had gone through. Fortunately, Joanna lived, but her face is disfigured. She has had multiple operations. But it was through her testimony that one of the Republican members of that committee came to me and said, Representative Brown, I am going to speak to Speaker Husted. I am going to tell him this bill needs to pass. And so that is the honest truth as to how this bill started to pass, to move, how it moved in the last General Assembly and passed the House unanimously. And of course, this session, we as Democrats are in control, and this House bill, you can tell by the number, it's number 10. It was made a priority by the Democratic caucus and leadership. And the bill was put on a fast track, and once it got to the Senate, even though it's controlled by Republicans, Senator Sykes, who chaired the committee, made me a promise that the bill would leave his committee, that he would help me to get it passed. And so that's where we are today. The governor took